Hello, welcome to this bonus stream, Silly Site stream. So we have been working on our Silly Site challenge, or I have been working on our Silly Site challenge every Sunday this December. But this is a little bonus episode or a stream because Ula was working on getting a favicon in place, open graph image in place, those kinds of things. And he got some of it done, but he's getting a little confused as to should it be in the gatsby-config, should it be hard-coded, should it, it can be a little bit confusing. So instead of just showing him, I thought, let's jump on a stream and I'll do the work on the stream, and then Ula has it for future reference, and you all can join us. So who are we? I am Benedicta. I am the senior developer and mom of Lilly Labs, our family web business. And then there's Ula, who I mentioned. He is the junior developer and dad. And then it's our intern Lillian, who's 5.5. So this is the site in question. The Silly Site challenge from Gatsby was a challenge to make something, silly, fun. At the end of 2020, we all need a little bit of joy. So what we decided to make was a site that bottles up our daughter Lillian's laughter. So if we press this bottle, there is the laughter. I mean, it makes me laugh at least. So what we want to do today is make sure that we get these, we get the okay, I'm going to have some coffee. We want to make the metadata for this site in a good way. So metadata could be the title up here, the little fav icon, the image that is shared when you share a link on social media, Twitter, Facebook, that kind of thing. And it's data that, gonna turn off that audio there. It's the data that lives inside of the head in our code, in our HTML document, I guess. So it's whatever is in between the head here. So you can see there's quite a lot of things happening here. The challenge when we are using Gatsby or any other kind of a single page application kind of framework, we usually don't have kind of direct access to the head. We only work within the actual main part of the HTML document. So we can see here for Gatsby, what we are actually working with when we're creating Gatsby pages and stuff like that. It's the, oh, this is very small. Let's see if can I zoom in on the, no, can I zoom in here? I don't know if I can zoom in here. Okay. It don't seem like I can zoom in on this, but I guess you can see it a little bit. So when we are working with Gatsby, what we're working with is actually what's inside this div that has ___ Gatsby. So when we want to change stuff happening up here in the header section of our site, when we are then using Gatsby, which is based on React, we often use a package called React Helmet. And I think it's called React Helmet because this little package, or big package, I don't know, is made by the NFL, the American Football League. I guess it's called the National Football League, NFL. So they have decided to call it Helmet because, I mean, it's on, it's what's on your head. I guess that's where the name comes from. So that's, a little fun backstory for you. So we want to use React Helmet to add things into this head that we usually don't have access to from Gatsby. So Ola has done some work on this already. He has managed to add the title up that you can see here that is reflected up here in the tab. And then he has also started work on getting a fav icon. And the fav icon is this little image that is next to your title in the tab here. And we found a great article on how you could add emoji to as a fav icon now in modern browsers. So that's what Ula has done. So we're going to check out that pull request, and then we're going to keep on working on that pull request. And what I want to do is, let me check the tweet for what I said we would do. We are going to move his helmet code into a separate but still hard-coded component. And then we will move whatever content is in there, the title, the favicon, that kind of stuff. We're going to move that into the gatsby-config file. And then we will source it back into the component using a static query. And after we've done that, for this little site, like, I don't think the about page really needs to like have a different image or a different title or anything like that. So we're just going to globally add it in and globally add it and not add it on every page because I don't think that's needed in this case. And I also think it's a learning opportunity to see how you can globally add all these metadata, and then you can just override them on single pages instead of having to have it on every page. So that will be a fun little challenge for us. Then we need to do the Gatsby SSSR and the Gatsby browser, I think, to wrap all of our components or add this to all of the pages generated. Yep. So let's head on in and pull down this pull request and keep on working on it. So here Ula's made that happen. And this is not the pull request, this is the issue. So let's go to the pull request. So this is this, it's the this issue. And I never remember how to do these. So I just go here for the command line, and I did. I think I already did this, but let's just do that. Just follow it. And then we'll check out the branch. And we should be gold. Develop. I did not write that correctly. Develop. And we're building and we're building. So let's find these files that we're working with. So here are our pages, and in our pages, in our index file, we are using the helmet component from React Helmet. And then in the Markdown template, we are also using it and just very much hard-coded the title and about. I mean, this page could be any page because it's a template, but I know that we only have one about page. So we were being a little quick there on stream a couple of weeks back. Or was it last weekend? Who knows? So what we want to do now, first and foremost, let's go back to that tweet. I need to have that. I'm going to have that up here. So I do this in the, so we do that in the path that I intended. This is very much an on spur of the moment stream. So feel free to ask questions if you have any along the way. So I'm guessing people are. Oh, well, that just took a picture of me. So here are my notes. Okay. Move the Helmet code into separate but still hard-coded components. So that's the first thing we want to do. Let's see if it's built. Here it's built, and we have our little title up there. So let's first move it into a separate component. I don't know, can you see these? You can see these. You can see I have 3 messages, and there's a little red thing. Those things, I need to just turn them off. I'm just going to turn them off because otherwise I get very distracted. Okay. So the first thing we want to do is make a new component that will hold this helmet code so that we don't have to add, you know, a fav icon on every page and a title on every page. So let's go to our components, new file, and then we can just call it, I don't know, meta.js. Often these components, when you see the Gatsby tutorials, they're called SEO components because often we want to get the metadata right so that the search engines will be able to find our sites. But in our case, I don't really think people will be searching so much for this, but we want it to look good when sharing in social media. And we also want, you know, the title and stuff to look good when people visit the site. So I'm going to make a new component. I have a little snippet library that will do that for me. And then we will use no props on this because we're just going to hard code it so it's the same on every page. Then I copy that code that I want to make reusable. I have to remember to import the helmet. Oh. And then we should be able to replace this with our new meta component. This is how I usually like to do it. I didn't do it this time, but Ola did it. So you first hard code your things to make it work. And then when you've done it twice and you see that you have to like update in several places every time you do a change, then it's time to consolidate it into a reusable component. And we are now importing it from components meta. We don't need the helmet anymore. And we should do the same thing in our index. And remember, this is for you, Ola. If you see this meta, and then you see it says source components meta there at the top. If you enter now and select that, it should be imported for you up here. Yes, it is. And then let's remove this. So now let's see if everything still works as it did before we did the change, but let's remove this about. So yeah, we can still see we have our favicon and we have our title. And if we go to the about page, we have our favicon and we have our title. So that's what we wanted. So we removed, instead of having this code in 2 places, both in the markdown template and on the index page, we now have it in one reusable component. So whenever we do a change here, then we get to change both places. So if we want to change this to, can I just do 1 there? It says 1, and it says 1 there. As opposed to last, as it was before, we would have gone to both the markdown file, change it to 1 there, and then to our index file, and then change it to 1 there. So I'm pretty happy with this. We've done the first task of our job, which is to create a reusable component. So this take, move the helmet code into separate but still hard-coded component. Yes. So let's commit that. Reusable meta component. Right. Or refactor helmet code into a reusable meta component. Good. Now we want to add some more things here before we do the next step, which is move the content into gatsby-config and source it using a static query. So we can go and have a look at the React Helmet documentation to see kind of what we would like to add. So here's an example. Description would be nice. And I think Ola, because he followed the Gatsby tutorial for SEO components in another pull request here, but that's when I said, let's do a quick explanation or like a video where I show him the steps, because in the SEO component that he what's it called, that he copied, there's so much going on. And we probably don't need all of that. So I just want to add some of it. But he added some good, I'm going to find it, the title. Yeah, so let's do the title. Bottled happiness. And then description. Oh, I had a good description. Bottle of laughter by bottle of our daughter's laughter. Daughter's laughter. Okay, that's a little bit better English. Okay, bottle of a daughter's laughter. So if we go in here now, we should see that if we inspect, you should see that here in the description. There, a bottle of a daughter's laughter. And it's from React Helmet. Good. And you might be wondering, if you've been working on Gatsby for a while, you can see that their examples. Let's find that example Ola was working through. Gatsby org. And then let's see their SEO example. SEO. There we go. It's querying. We're going to do that later, but let's look at their actual SEO component. Oh, no, they have changed it now so that they use, yeah, because before React Helmet kind of asked you to put all of these props in, all of this data in as props. But I think the best practice now is that you can have the title. If you have a title template, you add that as a prop, but then the rest you put into these meta data here. So after we've done with our work, I think definitely this is a tutorial that I will be linking to, because this looks a little bit better than the one that I saw, a while back. Gatsby has just redone their documentation. So we have our title and a description. And I think I want this bottle to just be a part of the favicon icon. So we get bottle over there, and then a laughter, and then a new bottle. Yeah. That looks good. Or maybe we should do, I think that looks better if we do it like this. Trying to stay on point. Or like, okay, excuse me, I can't just leave these things alone, because otherwise I will be annoyed every time I look at it. Yeah, this looks good. So we have a bottle, and then bottle happiness, and then bottle. I like that. Okay, bottle happiness. Description, good. I'm just going to add that to the commit that I've already made, and then I can do commit stage amend. And now we want to do, as in the tutorial we just saw, which is the next step, move the content into Gatsby config and source it using a static query. So that's what we want to do. So let's have a look at this example. We'll add the site metadata to our gatsby-config. I think, we already had some that we weren't using. And we then want bottled happiness to be the title. And then we want a title template. But I don't think we need the title template for this case, but or maybe we could. Maybe we could. I'm wondering how this will look though on the index page, but we'll see. So we'll have the title template. So or maybe not. We'll do only these two are the title. That will look good. So well, these here. So what will happen is that if there is no title, this will be used. So bottled happiness will be then replaced into this percentage sign S, and then little dot, and then we have our laughter. Or let's see how it goes. We'll fix it when we see the problems. Okay. Description. Let's do our description. And our URL. bottled-happiness.app. In the static folder, yeah, so images. Open graph. We don't have an image yet though, so we'll just remove that. And then the Twitter username is Ray, because we'll add it to me, not Ula. Yeah. And a funny thing that we have that they don't have in their example here is we also have this fav icon. So let's add that to our Gatsby config as well. Fav emoji. We want the bottle fav emoji. We don't have an image. I'm just going to remove it. And we are not using these either. So let's remove them for now. And then we'll add them back in. And we are not. So yeah, I'm going to go back a little bit on what I thought. I'll just remove everything that we're not using right now. And then we'll see. So the only content that we have here is our title, our description, and then the fav icon. So that's what I've put into our site metadata now. Bottle have the title, the description, and the fav icon. Now I need to source them. So let's go back to this tutorial and see how we source things or query them. So for this, we need a static query. And I'm just going to copy this because that's usually what I do. And it's supposed to be underneath the whole component. And I'll call it meta because we're calling everything meta. And I want the site metadata. We'll call it the default title. And then that's what we get from here, title. But we're just going to call it title because we are not doing so much funny stuff. So we need the title, the description, and the fav emoji. And then if I remember correctly, we then get it as props into our meta, into the component that this query is a part of. Oh my God, it's been a long time since I've done these queries in Gatsby. Let's see. No, we get it from. Oh, so this is funny because I I haven't like started a new that's a little bit why I wanted to be part of the Silicide challenge, because I haven't started a Gatsby project in so long. So this use static query is new to me. So let's do that then. Use static query. And we're asking it to use this query. So let's call it meta query. Or this is best practice, then it's best practice. And what we want to do here then is that we want to get the data from the query. So site title, site description, or am I wrong? It's from site metadata. So we'll do this. We will do this as well, where we just, instead of calling it again and again, so what we're doing here is inside of site metadata is everything we asked for. The site metadata, everything here is inside the site metadata object, and we can then destructure it. So we'll do const. We're asking for the title, the description, and the fav emoji. So these variable names have to match these names. Site metadata. Then we can we can use the title, the description, and the fav emoji. It looks like we cannot use the fav emoji here because this is a regular string, so we need to make it a template string. Then there's the $sign. $sign. Still looks like this is wrong in some regards. Yep. Okay, it's probably something to do with escaping and stuff like that. So instead of doing the template string, I'm going to do the good old like adding strings together. So we have the strings, and then we do plus. Or will this not work? Sorry, it's so long. Content. Oh, we don't need to have like we don't need to add anything here, I guess. Now this is messing me up. Why is this messing me up? Fav emoji. I need that to be added in here. It's a string. I need to break up the string. I should be able to do string, like I'm going to put it up here. I'm going to do const fav icon equals. It equals this whole thing. Plus. And when you have all different kinds of quotes, you get all confused. Okay. Now I can use the fav icon here. Now I can maybe try to make this into a string in torpor, whatever it's called. Yep. So hopefully this works now. And we need to import the use static query. You can see when you're not like working through it as a tutorial, it's a little bit back and forth. let's see if it's still working. It's not working. Site. Oh, it's site metadata, isn't it? Site. So what we're getting back here from the query is an object, and we deconstruct site from that. So that's this object, the site object. And then we are asking to deconstruct the site metadata. And we have a little, what are those called? Too much, because I was wrangling around with this SVG. Cool. So this is pretty cool, where you can use an SVG as a favicon. I had no idea. It's very cool. So now we have everything we already had, but instead of hard coding our content here, we are getting it through this query. So that's our second step. Move the content into gatsby-config and source it using a static query. So we're doing that, but we're still doing just like a very minimal amount of stuff, because we're not using the title template possibilities of Helmet. We are not adding like all kinds of metadata. So to make this more understandable for you, Ula, so they can see how these things kind of like build up over time. So what did I say? Move content to Gatsby config and source it with a static query. Okay, good. So our next project now is to globally apply this to all of our apply this component so that we don't have to add it to every page. Because now we have to add it to the index page. We have to add it to the markdown template. If we make some other type of page, we need to remember to add it there as well. But I kind of want this to be globally through all pages, because it should have the same title. It should have the same metadata, because this is not a huge site. It could be the same metadata on all of the pages. And then if we have time, and I think we do, I'll show how to override it on only like certain pages. And it's nice to have like a global default, and then we can just override it some places. I think in most of the tutorials, they add this to every page, or to like a template that they wrap around. But you have to still remember to wrap every page in that template that adds this. So I'm going to show how to do this globally, if I manage to do it. I've done it before, but it's been a while. So we'll see if we can manage to do that. So if we're going to add something kind of globally around all our pages in Gatsby, if we go back to our actual HTML document here, you see that Gatsby kind of starts in this div, and we can add kind of components, or if we look at the component tree, I guess. So we have some theme providers here, base providers. I don't know if this helped us. I like to look at it more over here. So we can kind of add something on top of or around kind of everything that Gatsby is in charge of. So to do that, we need to add it to our, I think we need to do this in the Gatsby SSR file and the Gatsby browser file. And if we, have we done this yet? No, because I think this Gatsby plugin theme UI does this for us with our theme. It kind of adds something around. So let's see if we can find another example. I'm just gonna bookmark this. Orla. This is a good tutorial. So let's see if we can search Gatsby browser. Gatsby gives you control of Gatsby behavior in the browser. For example, responding to user changing route or calling a function when the user first opens any page. Let's see if it gives us any examples or if we have to find somewhere else. So this is the one we want. Wraps every page in a component. So you kind of don't want to wrap it in a component. We want to add a component on top. So let's try it and see how it goes. So these files are added to the top. It's added to the root of our project. Gatsby browser.js. We'll just copy this and see how it goes. So these are not regular client-side files. These are run when the project is built. So you can see here, Ulla, that we're not using import. We're using require, which is on Node on the server. That's how you import JavaScript code. But then on the client side, let's have a look. You do import from. I thought, though, that, you're supposed to be able to use this kind of style on Node as well, but I guess this is still the best practice. So we don't want the layout component. We want our meta component. We don't want to do anything on root update, but we want to wrap every page in the component. We don't really want to wrap it. What we want to do is we'll use a fragment. And then we'll add the meta. So this then should happen, wrap every page, and it'll add the meta on top. So if we remove our meta from both places, let's see if we still can see them in our browser. We cannot. I had an idea that this would work, but maybe it won't. Should I not be allowed to add wrap page? Oh, maybe I need, because I've added the Gatsby browser, maybe I need to run develop again. We don't need these props in this case. I'm pretty sure I saw some plugin that solved it this way, but we'll see. Ooh. Oh, so it's, does that count? There are multiple modules with names that only different in casing. Maybe meta. Okay, let's see if it works now. But got object. Are we not? Layout, require layout. exists in both browser and server side. If you use one of them, consider if you should implement it in both. Yes, so we need to add this to Gatsby SSSR as well, which is the HTML. So Gatsby SSSR, server-side rendering. It's what happens when the page renders on the server, and we kind of want our title and all our metadata in the HTML that's sent over to the browser, and then Gatsby browser takes over and wraps things on the browser side. But this is not working as I thought it would. Wraps error page in the component. So let's just test with like a div. Div test. We have test there. So why is meta not working? Element type is invalid. Okay, source, components, and it is export default meta. Oh, but this is written with imports. Does that have anything to do with this? Should work. What is the layout example in this case? I would like to see this layout. Wrap. Wrap page element, layout, props. We are just doing it a little bit differently. Let's see if I can figure it out. I think I found some kind of helmet plugin that does this. Gatsby plugin. Attributes you add will get added to setting. Yeah, this is the one we have. There's so many. Let's see. Wrap. Gatsby. Let's see, what do we call it? Wrap page element. Wrap page element. Gatsby example. Well, maybe I should do root. Anyways, wrap page element. Why we don't involve wrap element instead? We need to separate APIs. So child, wrap page element, child of root element. Maybe we could do this in root, but I don't think that's our problem. Wrap root provides. It's usually used for providers with the context and API. Server style sheet manager, sheet. But why is it not working? Wrap in layout, Gatsby root. Let's have a look at there. So this plugin, I think, does this for us, but let's see how it's done, and then we can. Source node. No, sorry. Gatsby browser. wrap page element require wrap page. Let's see what wrap page does. Element layout, but where is the layout coming from? Layout, preferred default, cannot find module. Huh. Okay, let's test with another. I do const test return div test. What happens if I use this component here? Does that work? Remove the meta. It does work. So there's something wrong with how this is required. Maybe it cannot have. So if I'm going to test this and then just return. I should get 2. Yep. So there's something wrong with how this is interpreted when it's added to the Gatsby browser. String for built-in components or class functions but got object. It's a regular component in wrap Gatsby. The component in Gatsby browser, wrap around how to use recoil. Let's see. So what I'm trying to figure out is how I should import these things. Layout, recoil root at the top of the index component page. Then she probably adds it into the React wrap. The solution. Yes, so see, she uses just, well, let's not copy from the Gatsby docs and let's do it with, I think the problem here is that we were mixing up the different, and I need to do a blog post or video on that because it still confuses me, the different ways of importing on the server side and the non-server side. So let's try to just do it in the same way we do it for our client components. Import meta from source components. Source components meta and see if it then works. And then we don't do exports, we do export const. Oh, Twitter, why am I on Twitter? We were gonna go over here. Yes, it works. Oh my God, it was just, So, lesson learned. let's just use the same type of importing and style of JavaScript as we do on the client side. I don't know why Gatsby's documentation uses kind of like the node style of importing in their docs, but this now works. So then we don't need the meta on these pages because it is just added to every page. Bottled happiness. So if you're watching this, you might just, I'm gonna link to the commits for the solution, so you don't have to watch the whole thing. So what we did here was the last part here. Globally apply our component. Globally apply our component. But we've only done this now in the Gatsby browser. We also need to do it in the Gatsby SSR, server-side rendering. So let's do that. Gatsby. It would be nice if they had one where you could like do it for both of them as a server-side rendering. So it needs to be equal to this one. And it needs to be root level. Okay, and we could make, like they did, a wrap page. And we'll put that in here. And we'll do export default. So this then defaults to, or let's explicitly do this, Ulla, so that it looks more like you're used to. Wrap page element equals. So now it's a regular regular component. Or we can do rename wrapper. And then we should be able to do wrapper from wrap page. And we then need to import that as well. Let's just call it wrap page. Wrap page. Import wrap page from we'll call it the same. We don't need any React there or here anymore, and we don't need a metadata. We need that in our wrap page. Okay, now it should work. And it works. And then we need to check that it works also when we do the server-side rendering. So if we do yarn build, and then I think yarn serve, we should see the and then we can turn off JavaScript in the browser, and we will see the actual HTML that is first transferred over to the browser, and see if that also has the correct metadata. Let's hope it does. Okay, let's do yarn serve. Yarn serve. And we should be able to turn off JavaScript on this page. And I never remember how. I said application. No, but don't I have a little like thing that will turn it off for me? Okay, let's do. I never remember how to turn off JavaScript. Oh, we're almost at the hour. I guess if I made this more of a tutorial, it would be like 10 minutes. There we go. JavaScript block. So let's block JavaScript for the local host. So we have no JavaScript on this page now, and we still have the metadata up here, which is great. I'll show you if we remove it from the SSSR and build. It's going to take some time, but then we'll see that the metadata is not added. Okay, this is taking some time. Let's see what people have tweeted at me. So Ula is just like tweeting images of Lillian. And their messer, Christmas messer in the background. Okie doke. Okie doke. It should be done now. Yarn serve. And now if we do this, you can see we have no metadata up here, except what Gatsby adds as the default. So we then want to get this back. Okay, we check that it works. We'll add this to the same commit, which was correctly globally apply our component. Great! Woo, we did it in under an hour, but now we're going to do the bonus, which is what if we would like to make a page now? What if we want something different on the home page? Let's say we want to add home here. I believe if I just do helmet now, helmet title test, then it should kind of override the override whatever we have globally. But we need to import helmet, please. Sorry. I don't know why I like to copy paste. I think it's because of me having dyslexia, which means that I have been burned so many times by writing stuff wrong. We'll do develop now, and we'll see. So what I'm hoping now is that only the title is replaced and not the description. But to make that happen, we might have to use the props on Helmet instead of, actual elements, children elements. So let's see, localhost again. We have JavaScript enabled on this, hopefully. And I've forgotten to talk about it being New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, I guess. Well, tomorrow is New Year's Day, so this is whatever. It works. So now it has replaced test, but it has not replaced our fav icon with anything, and our description should still be here. So that's how you can, let's see if I can find our description. There, and our description is still here. So this, I guess, is a way where you, instead of then having to import and add your SEO component on every page, or our meta component in this case on every page, we add it globally, and then only when we want to kind of override, we override. But we don't want to override, so let's just remove this. But what we would like to do is add some more. So in our meta, we have our title, description, and fav emoji, but we will also like to add an image to share. So let's go back to let's close up everything. And then go back to our SEO component and see how they do that. So they add an image to the static folder. And I think they'll use this URL as well. So let's go back to our config. We'll add bottleshappiness.app. And then we want to do social. And then we want to put that in our stat. So this in files that go in the static folder, Gatsby doesn't do anything with. So let's do a new folder, images. And then we should add our social image there. Where do I have our social image? Let me just remove the screen there for a while, because I have to check my signal, and I don't think you should see my signal. Okay, signal is done. So I just downloaded I downloaded an image that my good friend, internet friend, Paul Scallion made for us. And I downloaded it. And let's put it into the images folder and call it social, because that's what would happen as. And it's a JPEG, yes, social. So we've done that. Let's go back to the tutorial. Let's go back to the tutorial. Let's go back to the tutorial. Yeah, so we want the site URL and we want the image. But we don't want to, we're not going to override the image. So let's just do it like this, site URL. And then let's look at how they do it with images. So it's a site URL, image, and default image, but we don't do default image. And let's have a look. SAO image. So site URL and then the image. And then we'll just keep on adding all of these. Image. Image. I'm going to do a let here so I can change these if I want to. Fav emoji. Let's do fav icon. Yeah. And then we do image should then be site image. Image should be the image. And then we do site image. I'm gonna not do these as lets, and then I'm gonna do them as const. Site image, site URL, and then we'll do const social image. So social image equals const. I'm gonna do what Gatsby did. Do what Gatsby did in their thing. Okay. We don't have a default image. So social image, fav icon, and then we're going to use the social image. And I know that we're going to run into a little problem here later, or a little problem, and I'll show you how to solve that with, Netlify. SEO URL. We are just going to decide that it's there. I don't think we need all of these. OGRL, no, it can just be inferred. We don't need to have all of these in here. OG title can be inferred. OG description can be inferred. Image can be inferred. I think we're just going to go and we'll see if that just works, if we don't need all of these other ones. Site image. Oh, we need to do site image. Okay. This should then work. Let's have a look. console element head. Do we have an image here now? Yes, but as you can see, it says bottleshappiness.app. So if we go and have a look at that, you know, that's a broken link because we haven't added this to our site yet. So what we can do here is that we can use the process or the environmental variables in here to test this, to get the actual URL for our site. So if we do let's see, and variables in gatsby-config. Plug in Gatsby and variables. I don't know, what is this doing that I don't get to go custom? Well, this is all happening on its own. What am I trying to do? Yes. So I want to access the environment variables, and if this is develop, I want to use the localhost, the localhost URL, and if it's on Netlify, I want to use the Netlify URL, and that should give us the correct image. But maybe I shouldn't do that today. We are just going to YOLO this and hope that like our image is actually going to be there, and then we can test. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a separate one and add the image there, so we do a separate pull request with just the image. So adding social image. So let's get checkout master. And then we'll add the image there. Static, new folder, images. Reveal in Finder, and then we'll do it again. Downloads. Didn't I just download this? Oh, I moved it. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. It check out. This is going to take almost 2 hours just to get the freaking meta stuff done. This is why the plugin ecosystem for Gatsby is so nice, because if we had made our own plugin or used one of the plugins, we didn't have to do all of this. But then we wouldn't have learned anything, would we? So, open, reveal in Finder. I want to just copy this so I have it somewhere else. There, and then I'll check out again. I'll add the folder images, not the new folder. Reveal in Finder. Then I'll copy this image. I'll copy this image into Bottle Happiness source. Bottle Happiness, static images. Okay, social. And that's all we want to do. And then we'll just YOLO that straight to master so that we have that image so we can test if what we're doing on that under branch is working. Social image. Check out. Then we can do a git rebase. And we are good, because this was the same. Then we can do git push force on this one so that we get it to build again on Netlify. I like to do a hub browse. And then we'll check out this pull request. And wait for it to build. And then we can check to see if Netlify, not Netflix, Netlify has built. Yes, so the social image should be there. So if we go to bottled happiness, images, social, not JPG, JPEG. It should have been there. Oh, it's a JPEG. Oh, there it is. And this is then the image we want. So I have done something wrong here because look at that. We'll do another push force, commit stage amend. I'm feeling sorry for you now, Ulla. I said it was just going to be like a quick thing, and now you get all of this. But you can also just go and look at those commits because I tried to make them separate so that you can have a look at each commit. And we just need to wait for Netlify. Oh, but I guess we can also just do yarn develop because it's out there on the interweb, so we can see if it's in place. So if we have a look at our local host now, it should have the image in the head. And it does. And then this image should exist out there on the internet. It does. We are good to go. Okay, this is now working. So let's then check Open Graph Debugger to see if it will infer from that image tag we've used, or if we have to add these like OG tags as well. Yeah, so it should be explicitly provided. So let's do that then. We want this one. It should be the social image. And then we probably want the Twitter. We want Twitter to make it large. And we can do, so the title, I think it inferred, so we don't need to add that. Is there a Twitter share debugger? Twitter cards validator. So let's try the same thing here. We can enable to no card found. So we will then need to do Twitter card, and we will probably need Twitter card, Twitter creator. We can do that. Oh, let's not do that yet. Twitter title, Twitter description. Let's do Twitter image then. Social image. And pleasing FB and Twitter. I don't understand why they can't just infer it from the other ones, but they cannot. Push. Some of these things I do so seldom that I need to check them every time. So we need to check if it is deployed again, because we need the newest one. Okay, let's check if this has our Twitter stuff. Kind of want to get done now. Prefetch, let's see. Name, blah, blah, blah. Link. Doesn't look like it has. Description, image. Did I push these things then? No. Please here, pleasing FB and Twitter. Let's see. Where's this all cached? No, here we have it. Twitter image, OG image, Twitter card. Okay. Let's see now if we scrape again, if it's more happy. Following required properties missing: OG URL, OG type, OG title, OG typical. I'm just going to skip those. I mean, this looks good enough. And then we do preview card. Image tag. OG title. Oh, so it needs all of it. Twitter. Oh, so if we specify an OG title, then it will use that. OG title. Title. No, excuse me. Twitter title. I mean, this is boring to watch Ula, but it's gotta be done. Twitter title. So we have title. We have image. Title, Twitter image, Twitter card. What more did it want? Twitter title, OG title, Twitter text title. Okay. So I'm just gonna commit that to the pleasing the Twitter gods, or I mean the git push force. So we are trying to please all the socials. And we are waiting for it to deploy again so that we can see if Twitter and Facebook are happy. So I'll definitely try to make plugin that I can use in side projects for this, so I can get global, so this can all just work without me having to do it every time. That would be good. Oh my God, we've been doing this for an hour and a half now. Okay, so let's try this again. So yeah, it doesn't say that it wants title anymore. Woohoo! It's working! It's working! It's working! So that makes us happy. Okay, so we have the site. So we use the query down here to get the metadata. And we can rename it from URL to site, URL from image to site image. Then we use the query up here. We deconstruct, i.e. we like get a hold of all of these properties from the site.site metadata. We make a social image from our site URL and then our site image path. We make a fav icon from an emoji, fav emoji that we set. And then we add it here to the helmet. So I hope this is a little clearer for you, Ula, than just like those examples that have everything and have all the edge cases called for. Like they let you, they check if an image is set, they do all kinds of checks and want to make sure that it can be used in all kinds of settings. But this will only work kind of in our setting, and hopefully that's more understandable for you. So I'm going to leave it at that. That was I just cleaned up with a little like line shift. So I'm just going to commit that as an amend. And then we'll do final git push force. And then we'll merge it in. And I will not delete the branch so that we can do you can see the commits. So I'm going to do this so I can reference those in a tweet afterwards. Oh, have I gotten like 2 of these now? And then this one. Okay. So rebase and merge. Probably should have called this something different though, Ulla, but that's how we roll. Let's look at our commits. Yep. Okay. That's it. This is why we like plugins. I mean, that would have saved me an hour and a half, wouldn't it? But hopefully it's more understandable for the person who's watching, which will probably be Ulla, who I made this video for. Ulla is the junior developer here at Lilly Labs, our family web business. And I am Benedicta, the senior developer. And with us on this project, which is Bottled Happiness, is still rebuilding bottleshappiness.app, where we have made our daughter's laughter into something fun. That still makes me laugh. Let's wait until it builds so that we know everything is working as we hoped, and then I'll wrap up the stream. Netlify plugin. It is building, I believe. Yep. It is building, so let's wait until it's properly built, and then we'll see if all of this works together. And it's published. Let us have a look. Yep, we have our favicon, Bottled Happiness. Happiness, happiness, happiness. Let's share it on Twitter so we can see that it works. And Ola has been having some fun here. It now works. This is why plugins, why GatsbyJS plugins are so great. It would have saved me this hour and a half. This hour and a half. But if you wanna see the process, tune in. Social networks. And thanks at Paul Stallion for the image. A little confetti because I think that's fun. Confetti. And thank you for the image. Little thank you hands. And then we edit and we'll see our magnificent social play. Hopefully. Okay, let's have a look. Let's see if it looks good. It's not looking good. Oh, let's see. Twitter share debugger. Okay, let's try it again then. Now, after running it through the debugger. Go. Okay. It's not. Oh, snitty. Quite boring bonus stream. And it looks like it's not working on Twitter now, but I will just, stop it here because the card validator says that my card should look something like this, but it's not. And it's New Year's Eve. And I will just take the day. But let's check the Facebook debugger. Thank you. I couldn't have my hair down because, so I put on the earrings instead. Bottled happiness. So it says it works. Okay, I closed the wrong window. So I closed I'm using StreamYard, so I closed the StreamYard window, but it looks like it's still live. That's pretty awesome. I thought I'd quit everything, but so we're still live. I don't know what you saw while I was gone, but yeah. Anywho, to wrap this up, it looks good now in both validators. So I'm going to say that's as good as it gets today. And this stream was all about getting all the metadata correct in a Gatsby site. I think our learning is we should use a plugin, but this was so that Ola could understand where all of the different data was coming from, because most of the examples in the Gatsby tutorials are very comprehensive, adding like all kinds of metadata, so it gets quite confusing. But for our stream today, we did it more manually. We started out with hard coding everything, then we moved the data into the gatsby-config, and we sourced it with a query, and then we made the metadata component. We applied it globally, so we don't have to remember to add it to every page. And then in the end, we added a social image to this metadata as well. So that was an hour and a half. I'm definitely going to code this up as a plugin that we will, like a personal plugin that I can just apply to all fun side projects. So I don't have to spend time on this every time, because it's so far in between the times I do it. I end up spending, I guess, an hour every hour and a half every time. Why should I do that? Make a plugin and open source it. I don't know, but at least make a plugin for internal use here at Lilly Labs. So, oh, it was just black. Yeah, because I had clicked one of your comments, and then I was trying to close one of the windows up here, and I don't know when computers will get that, where like when you're watching this is what I want to close. I don't want to close what's over here, but you know, that's what happened. So yeah, but for Snooty who just tuned in, do not go back and rewatch all of this. It's not been the most exciting stream if you are not looking for the exact solution I was walking you through. Okay, have a great New Year's, everyone. Bye-bye.